Thank you, and thank you everyone for coming and attending this webinar. You know, it's one of those things where you know, as you've seen from the last couple of weeks, we've been presenting some of the technology and services that we have here at CoesterVMS with the goal of just really providing, as you kind of roll into the new year, a really good overview of what we have available, and making sure we have all of our clients aware of the systems and tools and processes that we have and offer. You know, one of the things that we've found, and Jacob and I, when we go and meet with our customers across the country, have found that it's not in this necessarily the process that we have problems with our customers, but just them knowing about some of the processes that we have. And so this is really designed to educate you. One of the things that we've seen a lot in the market, and I'm sure you guys experience with TRID, is the appraisal fee increases. The regulators have made it very clear that they don't want any fee increases at all. And so a lot of companies, what they'll do is they'll send out multiple quotes, they'll send out multiple emails for requests, or they'll establish some type of state-specific flat fee that has a fee for California, a fee for Texas, a fee for Maryland, and a fee for West Virginia, and that's fine. But what ends up happening with that is, for any state flat fee to work, you have to have a built-in margin for some will be higher and some will be lower, and you just do them all with the idea that the townhouse the townhouse is going to be the same price as the multi-million-dollar house or the 5,000 square foot house, and it just really doesn't work that well. And when you run into situations all the time to where you have a 10,000 square foot house, or a house on multiple acres, or a complex property to where there's nothing even inherently, you wouldn't know on the surface that this would be a complex property. But once the appraiser realizes there's no MLS and there's very limited number of appraisers in the market, now the appraisal fee went from $400 to $800 right away. And a lot of times those fees our lenders, or sometimes the borrower, have to redisclose, cannot charge because of the new TRID requirements, and they didn't disclose that amount. And so what we did is built a calculator, and this calculator is 100% right. And I say that when it's 100% right in the sense of that we have millions of appraisals. Jacob and I actually filed a patent on this. We didn't get it yet. We don't know if we're going to get it, but we did file the patent on this about 8 months ago. And this is something to where we use, and we tell our clients to use, so that you will never see another fee increase again. And this is something that we've worked a lot of time on, in the idea that the goal is to charge the right amount for the appraisal every single time, and not over-disclose and or under-disclose, but just the right amount. So if it's a townhouse in San Diego, it's $475 or $450. If it's a mansion in LA, or if it's a complex property in the Inland Empire, it's maybe $575 or $1,000. And the goal is to charge the right amount. We've had a lot of success with some of our customers that use this, that have branches that just work in a local market, or we actually have had a lot of call centers who have had a lot of success with integrating this fee quote into their business process. And we'll show you guys how to do that, with the idea that you're disclosing the exact amount every single time, and you can train your loan officers, you can train your processors, you can train your setup desk to pull the quote and get the right amount. So what I want Jacob to do is, we have this quote available in 2 areas. One is in the client module, which is you see here, and you can log in, just using your credentials. And Jacob, you want to take it from here on this, just to show everybody how to use the fee quote?
Sure. Yeah. And to your point, Brian, the disclosure calculator is actually available in 3 locations. The first being our standard online portal, our client module, which you're seeing now. If you are an account that utilizes our Encompass integration, or would look to use that, the fee quote is available through our Encompass integration, as well as through our integration through Mercury Network. We have workflows set up so that you would be able to submit a request for a quote directly through the Mercury Network. they would send us a call and we would respond with a value, and then you could place an order based on that fee quote directly through Mercury Network. So there are 3 locations that you can access this calculator. And once again, as Brian stated, the entire thought behind this was with the implementation of TRID to provide our clients a real-time fee quote that they can utilize rather than having to shop around or look for information. And the key there is real time. I mean, we're not having to go back to our appraiser network. This information is based on live appraiser fees, what we're paying in the market for appraisals based on the product and based on the property. So we're going to calculate a base fee, which you'll see shortly, plus any add-ons for lot size, square footage, value, etc. So from the actual, the client module itself, our online portal, you'll see this fee quote option in the top right corner. Now, before we get into the quote itself, for all of you administrators out there or your managers out there, access to this option is manageable. So if you only want certain users to access the fee quote or to be able to generate fee quotes, we can manage that for you. But for users that are approved to use the fee calculator, all they'll need to do is click fee quote, and it will populate this menu here. Now, this can be moved around the screen. So if you're on the phone with the borrower, you're looking to get a quote for an appraisal, you can begin the process here. And really all you need to do initially is fill out 3 fields. So first and foremost, you'll need to designate whether it will be an FHA appraisal by selecting either yes or no. And I'm going to give you 2 examples here today. First and foremost, I'm going to give you a pretty straightforward property, a single family in my hometown, Pittsburgh. So I will populate that information. So really all you'll need to type in, you can type in city and state, but really all you'll need is a property address and a zip code. Once you've typed those in, just select verify zip, and it will populate all of the information, city, state, county, as well as estimated value, square footage, and lot size. Once that information is populated, you will need to select the product category, and most commonly you'll select the residential option. Reviews will be for desk reviews, field reviews, etc. Specialty will be more out-of-the-box appraisals, and then BPOs will be broker price opinions. But for the most part, you'll select residential, and it will automatically populate a 1004. You can select other products here, but for the most part, it will most likely be your 1004s, your 1073s, etc. So once you've got the entire form populated, all you need to do is click calculate, and you'll see the status bar start to load. What it's doing now is pulling the most recent fee data from our database, looking for any of the square footage, lot size, all of those property characteristics, and then generating a quote for you. So as you can see, we have generated a base fee. This is based on those appraiser fees. So in the market, $475 is what we're paying appraisers plus our AMC fee. And then there are 4 different upcharges: rush, square footage, lot size, value, and then your estimated turn time. This estimated turn time, just like the fees that we mentioned earlier, are calculated based on our most recent data. So in Pennsylvania, we're averaging around 13 days. That's more or less, and we update this at least weekly, if not multiple times a week. And that's specific to the product, specific to the state, so you know exactly how long that appraisal is going to take, as well as how long or how much you're going to pay for it. And this is extremely imperative to transparency with your borrowers, with the consumer, and just saying, look, this is how much it's going to cost. This is how much this is how long it's going to take. So you're not caught off guard, and especially your borrowers aren't caught off guard in those markets where, we all know Washington, Oregon, Northern California, a lot of those are taking a little longer. So you know exactly what it's going to cost and how long it's going to take up front. So you have two options here. First and foremost, you can save the quote And what this will do is it will save the quote for 10 days, so you know that you have time to disclose, get your disclosures back, and place an order within 10 days. If you're ready to, you've got all the disclosures out, you've got your quote, and you're ready to place an order now, you can just click Order Now, and it will open up the order form. Now, before I do that, I just want to show you the difference between a pretty straightforward single-family residence and a more complex, larger scale property. So once again, I'm retyping, and once again, you can type this in, recalculate as many times as you like, and this is especially valuable when you've got purchase borrowers. They're looking at multiple properties. You can say, hey, we can generate quotes as needed. So if they're looking at multiple properties, let's just say they went from that standard single family to a multi-million-dollar property. I entered my property address, zip code, re-verified my zip. The product stayed the same. If you need to adjust, you can. But if I hit calculate here, it will take just a few moments to calculate that fee. And as you can see, that's standard single family in Pennsylvania was $475. But with this multi-million-dollar mansion, if you will, in Florida, it's going to be a $900 fee. Estimated turn time did vary a little bit. So as you can see, with these two different properties, two different markets, you have that exact quote in front of you. Once again, you can save the quote or you can place an order now.
Yeah, and to Jacob's point, the goal is, and Jacob, go ahead and save that. So he'll save it, and what he'll do is that quote is good for 10 days. And so we'll never see a fee increase. And Jacob, go ahead and show them the print if you can show them. You'll never see a fee increase from us. And what we do is any changes, right? So we're constantly updating this calculator. Any changes, that's something you can send to your borrower, or you can send to your realtor, or you can send to anybody, just kind of getting something to send to them. But that is, any changes to the fees will be on our side, right? So we're constantly looking to get these quotes. We're actually integrating with several quote service providers or fee service providers to get these into other systems. But the idea is you'll never see a change from there. And whereas with a property like this, if it was just the standard, $450 for appraisal in Florida, there would be an additional charge that that sometimes the lenders, depending on the situation, would have to eat, and that becomes, I was talking to a client in Virginia that we have, and they implemented this throughout their whole company, and I asked him why, and he said, well, I'm over my first quarter 2017 TRID corrections already budget. So he's already into the 2017 budget for TRID corrections. And he goes, we need to implement something. And they implemented this about 15, 20 days ago. They have never had another fee increase from this appraisal again. And so we have a lot of big lenders use this, a lot of small lenders. And the goal is, again, you should not have to spend any time emailing an appraisal management company or an appraiser. The amount of time wasted in that is above and beyond any differences in the fees. If you got 3 or 4 appraisal management companies you're emailing, you can go instantly to this website in 3 seconds, get a quote, and that's 100% it. Now sometimes it might be a little more, sometimes it might be a little less, but the goal is fast, efficient, and save time. Now with that, Jacob, you might want to show them really quickly how to place an order from the quote.
Sure. So once again, this is the print quote option just generates a PDF version of the quote with all of the information you entered as well as the quoted fees. Now, from your main landing page when you log into our online portal, you'll just want to navigate to Pipeline if you want to view your quotes. And then you'll want to navigate to the My Quotes tab. And here you can see all of the quotes that you've previously requested and saved. So as you can see, the mansion that we quoted just now is populated here. You can print that quote again, or you can place an order now click order now, and it will open up our order form with all of the information you previously populated. This is all valuable, and opening up the order form works well, but also let's just say you forget you placed a quote on this property and you want to go in and place an order for this property, 5 days later after you've disclosed and gotten everything back. So let's just click place order from the top, and this is just the standard order form. So if I go in and I'm starting my order form, I get through all my property information and I enter that property that I had a quote on that I completely forgot about. Once I verify my zip, it will recognize that that quote is already in place. So you can choose to proceed with the quote or return to your regular fee schedule. Now, if you're getting a quote, obviously this is going to be more accurate as it's more specific to the property than the fee schedule. So we'll just proceed with using the quote. Now, it will refresh. It will select the product that you had selected, that you'd quoted. It will populate all the information, and all you need to do is populate the remainder of the order form. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The nice thing is even if you don't recall getting a quote, the system will remind you. Now, if we go back to the pipeline and click order now on another property, it will open up that order form with all of the information that you entered. So really two options. If you've got the quote, you've got it, you can go back in, place that order really simply, product, property automatically populates. If you forget, the system will remind you that you have that quote.
Yeah, and one of the things is that with the Encompass, if you guys are using Encompass, this is actually available, I want to say it's available via Mercury as well. Jacob, is that correct?
That's correct. Yep. It's not going to
so it is available through Encompass.
They will send us a request and we will respond once the quote is generated within a minute or so, and then that will be saved on the Mercury end, and you can come back within 10 days and place the order based on that quote.
Okay, good. And then, and the thing is, within Encompass, all the borrower information, and we don't have to go into that, but all the borrower information, all the loan information will automatically populate over, and it'll be like our normal Encompass. It's a little bit, it's still within Encompass, and it essentially functions just like that, right, Jacob?
It's the exact same. And our Encompass integration is designed to mimic or mirror what you're seeing here.
Yeah, and so the goal is some of our clients say, well, I have an AMC that has a flat fee schedule, or I have an AMC that has this. Well, what happens is with the flat fee, number one, you're not getting the most inexpensive price all the time. You just can't. It's just the mathematics don't work. So not only are you not going the most inexpensive all the time, you're getting sort of an inaccurate fee for the appraisals, in some cases, not all cases, but in some cases. And then also dealing with the upcharges when it comes to if there's a complex property or something. This, to me, eventually, and this is not, this is not done yet, but once everyone else gets caught up, this will be the way that almost all appraisals are ordered going forward, because of the idea that the TRID fee schedules with the LEs have to be accurate, but the appraisals vary so much. As more competitive, things get more competitive in the market with rates going up. You're going to want you're going to want an accurate fee. State-specific fee schedules get a little bit touchy, especially in the bigger states, because you're not able to really drill down to the county or property level. So if there is if the property is more complex, you need to charge more. You're not able to do so, and if it's less complex townhouse and you're able to charge less, you should be able to do so. This is in real time, so we know right away, and there's no back and forth. Now, with that said, Jacob, is there anything else that they really need to know? I mean, is there a user guide? I'm sure we have one that we'll send over to everybody, but what else do they need to know regarding the using the fee calculator.
We will send out a user guide.
Perfect. Yep. So we'll send out a user guide to everybody, and this information will also be available. If you don't have access to this and this is not enabled, we'll be happy to enable it for your specific account, and we look forward to working with everybody. And any questions? Let me see if there's any questions. Let's pull it up real quick. Any questions on this? Yeah, so one question here, is it available via integration? So yes, so we have all of this data available in integrations. We can actually integrate it directly with the LOS system. We can integrate it directly with your point of sale system, and also we can integrate it directly with any of the other types of data systems that you have in place. It is a one-stop resource for you, and it's a one-stop shop for for any of your various LOS systems or various various data systems. We're in talks with several fee companies that help produce LEs to do an integration directly with them, as well as we have some lenders that we have their own proprietary integrations that we do directly that get their fee quotes from this as well. We would consider, if you said, well, Brian, look, I order from multiple AMCs, well, if we could we just use the data? Well, we want to we just want to use it for the quotes, but we're going to have to use more than one AMC. We would consider doing that. We have one lender that we're discussing with that would just use us for the data and some of the appraisals, but not all of the appraisals, in which we'd be open for that as well. So we'll be sending out a copy of this webinar to everybody. We thank you guys so much for joining us, and everyone have a great day.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.